Welcome to the Age of the Ring channel. I'm Jarian, a voice actor and beta tester for the mod. To get you all hyped up for the epic release that will be 8.0, we are starting a new series we'll call Beta Casting. Join me in an action-packed peek behind the curtain as our devs and beta testers go head-to-head, testing balance and all new features of the upcoming release. Let's go! Hey everybody, welcome back to another installment of the beta casting series. This must be beta casting 7 at this point, which is pretty crazy. We've been doing this for a long time now. We're playing on, this is beta version 34, I think. So we've just been working really hard on this one. Tons and tons of beta testing games played. So only right that we get to show you guys some of these. And this one should be great. So in the top left, we've got Gondor being played by Isirion. Isirion is one of our newest beta testers. And in the bottom right, we've got Harad, of course. It's a Harad showcase again. Obviously, Harad has been the focus of our testing for quite some time now. Being played by Old Nosey. So Old Nosey returns. He's doing the 2 Bazaar single outpost start, but over here, he's running his architect across the map, and I'm sure we'll see why in just a second. Yes, so Old Nosey is hunting down a farm to throw Dry Spell onto. Dry Spell is a tier 1 power. It just reduces the production of resource and production buildings. So you can see the +7 tick is how much this farm is producing now. If you throw Dry Spell onto a production structure, it also slows the recruitment time and like research time, or whatever it is. So we've been seeing this strategy getting tested a lot more recently with running that architect across the map to just kind of see how effective this spell can be. Otherwise, though, pretty standard stuff from Old Nosey. We've got the Warlord out. He is going to summon. He chooses the Axeman first. Already makes that decision. Now let's check and see what Gondor is doing. And once again, we have a Gondor versus Harad matchup. I love the lore matchup, but it also makes sense testing wise. Gondor is kind of our
at your command.
Who's that guy? Is kind of our standard faction to test against. They're just kind of generally a good base to test other factions against. We will see the clansmen of Lamedon making their way down the eastern flank, also hunting for some kind of resource structure. Nosey sees the clansmen of Lamedon, but is going to run back up and try and harass the base instead, and is going to try and defend with this battalion. He's probably going to summon some archers in just a second here. Yep, the tribal bowmen to try and take out these clansmen. It's not going to be enough in time, though. Over here, we do see the Linhir Spearmen going after this Bazaar. He sent these through the center. Not only is it a lore matchup, but it's a nice map matchup, or a lore map. The Stone of Eric. So he just got that. And he does clump up the Linhir Spearmen pretty well on the other side of the Bazaar to prevent line of sight. It's got the Axeman over here. Isirion cancels the stables. We'll see if he gets this one. It's going to be close with only so few to get that last hit. Oh, he drops the heal. Gets the extra. That might have actually made the difference. There was only 1 or 2 guys left. Wow. Okay. So just decides to use the heal to take down that second Bazaar. But Old Nosey is not going to go down without a fight, so his 2 Axemen are going to take down this farm and got the stables cancel, forcing Isirion to build more units. Instead, we've got the Blackroot Vale Archers, which is perfect for this map. He's rebuilding the farm first, and we've got Harad on a huge offensive here, another battalion of Axemen over here, and 2 battalions of tribal bowmen to try and protect the escape of these Axemen here. Dry Spell going down again. I don't know if the archery range got hit within the radius of this. But this early game suppression of resources can be pretty strong, especially when you tie it in with an aggressive tribal playstyle like this. But these axemen took a few too many hits on their way around the base, so not going to be able to get as much damage onto this farm by themselves. But with these axemen coming in on aggressive stance, going to be able to easily take that away. Axemen also getting on top of these Blackroot Vale archers. Isirion wants those archers down here to help with this fight, but well played by Nosey to get these axemen to jump on top of these guys. But Clansmen of Lamedon just very, very strong. If they were maybe on defensive stance, they might be able to last a little bit longer here. But I think Gondor is going to be able to clean this up as he leads these tribal axemen on kind of a wild goose chase and switches aggro from the Blackroot Vale archers here. Really, really nicely played skirmish here on the western side. We've got some more clansmen and archers coming out. Dry spell still affecting this farm, and it's only on half of a cooldown. But it looks like a counterattack from Gondor coming down this side. Just 2 battalions of bowmen made it out, it seems. Let's see what we're doing tech-wise. We are rushing the Sanctum of Zigur. I won't say it like that every time. And we also already have a caravan. I really like to see this. The caravans are a really, really strong economic option for Harad. They just cost the $600 investment. But they take up very little real estate as far as, it won't show me when I'm spectating, but they only take up about half the size of a bazaar in order to get full resources. So Nosey's going to be opting in for the earlier upgrades because the upgrades also stem from the caravan. The pikeman just going to stay here and protect these archers. He doesn't want the... doesn't want anything jumping on top of them. There's no Cav yet. Maybe he's just kind of preparing for Cav. Or at least maybe trying to get him to right-click the spears instead of the archers, because the archers are just going to be the stronger DPS at this point. Keeping up good Warlord production here to push back this Gondorian attack, but he was able to get the Bazaar down. I'm pretty sure there was a Bazaar here that was either killed or destroyed. But the Sables did go up for... We didn't check on Gondor's tech here, but now I'm glad we see the Sables is up, the Riders of Peneth Gillen are out, and we are throwing a well down. The wells, as I believe in 7.3.1, the wells no longer give the infantry discounts. We gave that to the heroic statues, but the healing and battalion replenishment is strong enough as it is. So Isirion's going to be opting in for that as Harad comes up the center and gets on top of this farm. We've had some... This is a pretty action-packed game so far. Decent flank here from the Riders of Peneth Gillen, kind of hiding on this side of the map. Whether they were going to harass, I'm not sure, but it put them in a good position to trample those axemen. And Gondor getting right on top of these guys with the heal. I kind of like seeing the heal. I think we normally see the Captain's Horn from Gondor players, but it's interesting to see skilled healers being used in this way and making for a very effective fight here. And what I didn't even see, and I guess that's kind of the point, is we've got a... Can I find him? Was he killed? There's a Hashirin blade in here, so I should probably talk about that. That's actually exciting. That obviously is what he was upgrading for. The Hashirin blades are a very unique specialist unit for Harad that we are... they've been in the game for a while, but they don't really see that much play because they're very micro intensive. But it looks like Nosey is trying to make some use out of them. So I guess while there's a lull in the action here, the Hashirin blade has a bazillion different abilities here. He's got a disguise move. He can take on the appearance of a different character model. He cannot be attacked or attack while he's in that mode. So some spears here gonna be able to... Ooh, the Riders of Peneth Gillen actually able to take level 2 off of a few just by scraping the side. What a great way to get level 2. Avoiding the pikes. That's a really, really awesome for them. I'll talk about the Hashirin still in a second. Gondor is jumping on top of this Bazaar. And while it looked undefended, the Hashirin blade just used its fan of blades to try and take these guys out. But the Linhir Spearman just a bit too tanky to fall to the AoE damage of the fan of blades, which hopefully I'll get to talk about soon. but causing enough disruption and able to take down this battalion that might not have fallen otherwise, as Harad was kind of caught off guard by this sudden attack of like 3 or 4 battalions and the Riders of Penethgillen causing a pretty great distraction. So forcing the pike summon here, going with the tribal archers, possibly to creep the trolls here. And the level 2 Riders of Penethgillen going to be able to escape. Well, now they're trapped inside this valley with a couple of pikemen. So, yep, he's going to stay to the side here. Nosey's not going to be able to cut him off on time. We've got 2 Hashirin blades in here, and he wants them. He wants to trample those Hashirins because they're going to be a problem for him to deal with. So, yeah, let me talk about... Well, I don't want to miss a fight here. But, yeah, so the Hashirins here, they have 3 stances. Combat, subtlety, and assassination, I think. Subtlety is like their default stance. Combat gives them a little bit of armor and move speed and lowers their damage a bit, whereas assassination gives them a big damage boost but lowers their armor. So the move that you're seeing there with that sound effect is the Fan of Knives, where they can teleport a short distance, and when they arrive, they do a big AoE splash damage, which is very, very effective against spam units especially, but it does great damage too. So the well is being a good counter here. The effect you're seeing now is another Hashirin ability, I don't know what it's called, Poisoned Well. It just adds a damage over time effect in a large radius to any structure. So now we're seeing the Glades of Ithilien being cast for Gondor here. I couldn't tell, actually I can't tell which was cast first, Dry Spell or Glades, or if they counteract each other. It does not seem to be. The Dry Spell is definitely affecting this farm, and he's not trying to build horses right now. So we've got the Khan Alinox, the Easterling summon for Harad here. The Hashirins are going after this marketplace. This is a great target, I think, for Harad to just slow the economy, which fits with the Dry Spell strategy that Old Nosey's been going for. But he should be able to take this down, no problem, with that summon especially. But at kind of a great cost. Most of his army is going to fall, even if those Easterlings are summons. And any damage they got done to these units is going to be moot, as we've got the Well and other healing abilities for Gondor here. We're seeing another Hashirin ability in action here. These 2 are Mirages. They actually can't deal any damage, but it can be hard for the enemy to tell which is which. But the real Hashirin does go down here. So... Let me see if there's another. We've got Karan Lambar being bought in this time frame. This is a very, very exciting game. Lots of things going on at one time. Isirion is going to build the marketplace, decides that it's definitely worth it to him. I wonder... No, these are... So... Oh, no, I must have been mistaken. So these were not the Mirages. He had 3 Hashirins. This ability here, Wicked Mirage... creates 2 models of the Hashirin that doesn't deal any... Oh no! I think they were summoned immediately to die. The Oathbreakers said, no. That was funny. But no, the time remaining that I saw was actually the stealth ability. The Blades of Siarul become stealthed for 20 seconds. They deal a little bit of extra damage when they're in that mode. So a little bit of a steroids move there. Karan Lambar just recruited, hasn't seen battle yet, so still level 1. But a great, great hero. He's the fear resistance at some point. Some point he grants fear resistance. Yeah, level 5. Gondor coming down through the middle. So we're still on tier 1s. We have not moved into Anorians. I don't think any of these have been upgraded yet. Riders of Penethgillen riding past these spears that were kept there to defend, and Harad kind of being caught out, attacking it kind of the wrong time, deciding they need to come back or this damage is going to be too great. Isirion getting a great surround on that bazaar, going to take that down. These spearmen going to go up for some counter harass possibly. We do see some forged blades here. We're starting to move into the tier 2 for oh, look at these fan of blades going down on these archers. So the Hashirin's getting some big flanks. Pippin gonna take down an agent of Siarul here. Very, very cool. This ability here, we're seeing Marked for Death is another ability from the Hashirin blade. It's a throwing knife that deals poison damage and slows heroes for a long time. Um, great use here. Isirion's going to be able to dodge most of the Breaker of Stone from Karan Lambar. Lots and lots of stuff happening in that battle, and I'm sure I missed most of it, but we did see the Hashirin blades going in for the flank on the squishier archers, getting some burst damage down on Boromir as well. Just pretty cool. The level 3 Peneth Gillen Rider is going to be able to retreat to the well. All of these units should be able to replenish. Look at that. That's this is the value of good and the value of wells right here. Not having to buy these archers again. So we've got some spearmen stationed here. He does not want to be caught by any riders of Peneth Gillen coming across this way again. Karan Lumbar going to try and get some levels, killing these Barrow Whites. Hashirin trying to fight this white. It's a pretty even fight without Karan. But Karan's going to make the difference here. We did see the... we have heavy armor and forged blades for the Harandor Spearmen and for the Harandor Raiders. I think, yeah, the blue coloring must be heavy armor. So the Caravan, wow, is actually almost level 3. So at level 3, they just unlock the oil-tipped arrows, the fire arrows, for the Harandor Archers. So now that we've had a little bit more of a pause, let's see here. I know we have Boromir, but as far as I can tell, everything's mostly still on tier 1, but he is starting to move into tier 2, and that is definitely due to the marketplace kind of booming his economy a little bit more here. But yeah, so as I was saying before, we have Suladan on the map here, buffing his Harandor Raiders. Really good harassing tool. So the Hashirin Blades have the 3 stances. So instead of aggressive, normal, and defensive, like most other units have, when they switch stances, they move into a different mode, which toggles their final ability. If I can find another one, I can show you. Yeah. So this Fan of Knives is for the combat stance, and it has its own cooldown. But when this stance is changed to Subtlety or Assassination, they'll get their Smoke Bomb ability, which reduces, I think, reduces the attack range of like archers and stuff. It disables defensive towers and stuff, I think. Don't quote me on that. And the other ability is I'll remember in a second. We've got Gondor coming down the left side with Boromir and finally some Anorians mixed in. Really good stuff. Oh yeah, obviously it's the Marked for Death ability that I was talking about, where you throw the knife and it slows and poisons an enemy hero. So we're likely to see that on Boromir again. The Hashirins also just do regular, their basic attacks do a lot more damage versus the, oh man, some pretty decent kills, even just as Glades of Ithilien is thrown down. We've got the Harandor Archers with fire arrows, and Karan Lambar completely devastating with CC, this army here. Going toe-to-toe with Boromir, though, Karan Lambar is taking significant damage, so he's going to be forced to retreat here. The buff from Glades of Ithilien is actually really paying off here. I would have thought at the start that this was heavily in the favor of Harad, but the Glades of Ithilien really counteracting the burst damage. We also have Unrelenting Sun being cast, so it looks to be a heavy PowerPoint lead in favor of Harad here. We've got a little bit of tribal harass going for the farms up here. Dry Spell going to be thrown down on the level 3 farm, which is going to be devastating. And Suladan proccing the Easterling Summon here. So even as he takes a losing fight down by his base, he's not going to make it. He's going to make sure it's worth his while. Faramir's arrow volley is not going to be enough to kill these guys in one hit, but I think between these Anorians that are buffed here, he'll be able to take out these guys before he gets another cheeky snipe on the marketplace. But Suladan by himself is going to take down that blacksmith, which is that's going to be really tough for Gondor, because already Harad has the upgrade advantage, but slowing the blacksmith production and level up process is going to put Gondor on the back foot in the late game here, I think. I miss a fight here in the center, but it looks like Gondor is going to retreat with most of their battalions intact and going to retreat to the well, which should be good enough for them. And now we've got see these heavy armor, kind of tier 3 archers with the upgraded spears are going to be a problem. But I really like the way Isirion is countering that with his PowerPoint selection. I think seeing the Garden of Ithilien being used in the way that it was here, he really turned that fight into kind of a winning one. We've got some Black Númenórean warriors here with the heavy armor and with the forged blades. So I haven't done a quick analysis of how much money and stuff they have, but 550 for Gondor. So pretty similar command point maximums. But I would hazard a guess that Harad is making a little bit more money than Gondor currently, even with the marketplace buff. We've got this Hashirin standing in assassination stance, which prevents him from auto-acquiring enemies and gives him the marked for death ability, but obviously that can be changed very quickly. So Casimir and Suladan, both here for Harad. Lots and lots of heroes for Harad this time around. I really like to see that. The Black Númenóreans start with the Stern Gaze, so lowering the armor of nearby enemies. The level 3 arrows from the archery range. Yeah, these guys are not going to make it at all. But they're buying enough time for this battle. I'm glad we just hopped on there as the Hashirin jumps in the middle of the fray here with Fan of Knives, letting the Harandor archers pick these guys off a lot easier. So sacrificing a few units for Harass to come in for the flank here. Let's see if he can actually get some damage done to some important structures here. I think it would be difficult for him to take down the level 3 or level 2 barracks here. We do hear for Gondor going down for Boromir, heavily buffing these guys, and so old Nosey knows this is not a fight he wants to take right now. These guys are just way too strong with Boromir's leadership. But he is going to turn the tide as they get clumped like this and get a huge Quran Lumbar knockback. Heroes are dying here. We've got Suladan and Casimir in the mix, I know. Wow. So that was derangement from Quran Lambar. I really did not expect that power from Harad here. I know the upgrade advantage is certainly here for Harad. Suladan is debuffing everybody's speed here. Must be all sorts of things going on at once. Really quick micro here from Nosey to try and avoid that arrow volley, but it's kind of a moot point as he's still going to be on the run. Though I will say most of these, like the upgraded level 5 Harandor archers, are going to survive. His upgraded units are going to make it out. So I think all in all, some pretty decent trades here for Harad. I really thought that the for Gondor was going to be more of a problem than it was, but he was able to get Gondor really clumped and get the huge CC off and let those Harandor archers really go to town and take down the farm over here. So Gondor is going to bulk back up. We do see the Ithilien Rangers here. And Faramir, what level is he? Level 2. So good stuff there. Unrelenting Sun was cast a while ago. I didn't comment as much on that one, but Unrelenting Sun does the global, I think it's like, what, 10%, does it say?
My blade
they take damage over time. I'm not sure what the actual percentage is, but it's like a percent of max health damage, which is kind of interesting. I think it does a little bit extra versus spam, so that it's not totally shit against spam, but the roster here for Harad is really fun to see, and we see the Mumakil being chosen here, which I think is a great choice for trying to break down the siege. Harad's siege options really lay in the Mumakil, especially the siege Mumak, but it's an expensive upgrade to get to level 3 for the Mahud Gathering. It's $1,000 plus the actual cost of the Mumakil itself. So he's going to try and keep, all right, the upgraded, the Bodkin arrows on the Ithilien Rangers doing some good damage versus heroes here. Going to force Harad into a retreat. But I think Harad is doing exactly what he wants to do, which is to keep Gondor on this side of the map until their siege options are fully fleshed out. So I really like this play from Nosey here. But Isirion also playing very, very well as kind of on the back foot, I would say. Harad has kind of had a little bit more control of this match. He does get Boromir back out at level 5, which is just in time for this fight. Unrelenting Sun, though, is going to be cast to really screw up Gondor's attack here. Hashirin Blades jumping in on all these guys. Oh my gosh, 3 Hashirin Blades spamming that ability. Very, very strong. Boromir full health. Skilled healers. Wow. This is expert Harad level strategies right here. Unrelenting Sun on the clumped up things. Getting the AoE from the Hashirin Blades, forcing the retreat, and then trampling them as they run away. Mumukil kind of sacrifices himself, so I'm not sure what the siege options are going to be, unless the army size difference is so significant, which it might be. Yeah, it really, like, Harad is kind of taking over the battle here, throwing Dry Spell. He doesn't want to see Cav on the field. Karan Lambar is an absolute madman at level 10, and Ensorcelled Rage, I've never seen that word before in my life. He can crush enemy units in this mode. We've got the Easterling Summon taking down the level 3 farm here that has not been dry spelled, so really no income here for Gondor. It's going to be really, really tough for them to rebuild at this point, and with the level 1 blacksmith, it's just not going to be enough, I don't think. Faramir was marked for death by another Hashirin Blade. This was really, really exciting to see the Hashirin Blades being used so effectively. I have a feeling we're going to want to talk about the Fan of Knives after this match. I know it's been talked about before, like how does their damage stand versus heroes versus units, that type of thing. But this is definitely a great game to kind of exemplify those changes. This farm is not long for this world, huh? Bye-bye. And who is giving him Scavenge right now? The team is going to call me a tourist after this game. I feel like there's been so many effects and such that I have not been noticing. Where is the scavenging come from?
I am Hashirin.
Another Hashirin Blade being... is it Casimir? No. Casimir has that AoE stun. I'm sure we saw that a while ago. Huh. I cannot figure out where these scavenge comes from. It is good to see Ciarul. Ciarul, rather, is a cheaper hero. Cheapest besides Baruthiel. And I personally think he's a very, very good hero. He's got the global... As he levels up, he gets leadership for all the different types of Harad units. Harad is has a very large roster, very unique, or not unique, but diverse. It is unique too, but a very diverse roster. And so finding leaderships that span the different kinds of units is pretty difficult, but Ciarul has that as he levels up. So I like Ciarul as a hero. But right now, he's not currently a high enough level to be getting all of that. So at rank 6, his leadership will give the experience, armor, and damage to the Hashirin Blades and perhaps the Watchers of Karna if we do end up seeing those. Great volley here. Great volley here from Isirion. A great engagement here being taken by Gondor. But Karan Lambar is just proving to be an absolute menace this game. If the Hashirins aren't the MVPs here, it's definitely Karan Lambar. Absolutely ruining every attack or counter attack. We'll see if he's gonna be able to disengage here. That was his I was gonna say his ultimate. I've been playing too much League of Legends. Don't hate me. Pulls in all the units here with his level 10 ability and can crush them now. Look at this man. Absolutely destroying Gondor single-handedly. Wow. Excellent play here. Ciarul gonna being left behind here a little bit, but actually not left behind. He's got his buddy Casimir. So these guys are gonna be able to make it out too. Old Nosey getting away with murder here, truly. Isirion's engages and counterattacks have been looked really good on paper, but excellent use of Karan Lumbar's powers and these specialists. The micro here just really good from Nosey to combat the overwhelming strength that it normally is Gondor. And I once again I want to bring up how damaging it was to get that blacksmith with Suladan earlier on in the match. To maintain the upgrade advantage for this long is absolutely devastating. And now we're at, I think this is max. This is every hero, right? I just don't think we see Baruthiel, but we've got the Golden King out on the field and a Siege Mumok. But a little exposed as the Hashirins and other heroes head up here. The Anorian Knight's going to be able to get a decent enough trample for the elite archers to get on top of the Siege Mumok, the natural counter. And even the Hashirins are not going to be able to Fan of Knives the Ithilians quick enough to stop them from killing the Siege Mumok. So only one Siege Mumok now for Nosey, and he's going to have to delay his attack once more, throwing down the Oasis. So opting for the... I must have missed the Burning Sands. So much has been happening this game. I love it. I wish I had seen what this had gone on. It clearly wasn't the base. Burning Sands is more of an army killer than a building killer, but it still does decent damage. And it was clearly a long time ago. But we've got double 15 powers here. The Ithilian Rangers going for the Siege Mumok. Hashirins Fan of Knivesing these Ithilian Rangers here to get them off of it, but it's not going to be enough. I'm pretty sure with these Anorian Knights chasing them down, it's... Is this Siege Mumok going to live? Tragedy has struck the men of the West. Yeah, he kind of went for broke chasing down the Siege Mumok, allowing these archers and Karan Lumbar to kind of get some big siege damage onto him. We actually are seeing the Hashirin. This is the smoke bomb from the Hashirins here. So another way to counter the Ithilian Rangers shooting down the Mumokil here. But now with this position, even on top of the Glades of Ithilian, the Siege Mumok is going to be able to get this damage down on this farm. And it looks like the Siege of Gondor is going swimmingly. I would say that they're in combat stance, so they do have higher armor. But the elite archers are kind of focus firing the Hashirins and not doing too much damage. So I wonder if someone on the team wants to comment on that. That seems like that should be a relatively strong counter, but it's not. We've got the Golden King casting Lord of Whites. Targeted enemy units flee in terror and take damage over time. Really strong ability there. It can be hard to get the Golden King to level 4 sometimes, but once you do, that power is kind of his bread and butter. It's on a relatively short cooldown. So he was able to get that fleeing off and escape. The Siege Mumok finally going down, gonna give Gondor a little bit more of a reprieve, but I think at this point, with the Hashirins and all these heroes back here, we can see the writing on the wall here for Gondor. Western Winds was cast. I don't know if Western Winds... The tooltip here does not say it cancels Unrelenting Sun. So I'm not sure, but definitely the 5-second stun was useful. I just must not have noticed that one going off. We've got the 3 Hashirins here stealthed. What are they up to? I wonder if they're going to try and use the Eyes of Ciarul here and try and disguise themselves as rangers. No, but they're just going to stay stealth, and as soon as they approach, going to jump on them with the AoE. What an awesome display of these units. I am personally a huge fan of the single unit. I'm a StarCraft guy. So I love seeing the single unit types being used. We're moving up the Southern Trade Caravan. which means that as the rally point has been adjusted to move up, he's going to be able to purchase upgrades for these units. So unlike the global upgrade, like the blacksmith, where you can upgrade your units anywhere on the map, you have to be near the caravan in order to get your upgrades. So Nosey just kind of moving that up to make sure that all of his units have access to that. And with his funding and max CP like this, he should be well enough to do that. I wonder, move the camera poorly. We are kind of moving right up on top of this fortress, going to take down the defensive trebuchet, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be it, but I'm hoping we can see a quick gain of another 3 power points for the Mama Kill, as she is lovingly known. Would love to see her to close out the match here. Wow, I absolutely loved watching this game. Yeah, there's that scavenge again. I don't know what that's about. All right, here it is. Hopefully we'll see it. We see ensorcelled rage going off again. I've never heard that word, but I love it. This voice actor is absolutely incredible. We have Poisoned Well on the archery range here, so slowly damaging over time any allied units. Really, really cool to see Harad in this kind of gameplay. We've seen some pretty similar builds before with the Tribals and the Mahood, but instead of going for the Mahood, I really liked to see the Arondor units being upgraded and being supported incredibly well by the Hashirin micro and usage there. Spelling death for Gondor in the end. GG to Old Nosey and to Isirion for really, really well played defenses. Just a super, super action-packed game. Lots of different abilities going back and forth and seeing some interactions that we've never seen before. So, yeah, wow, love that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you think. And I hope to be back with some more beta casting content soon, maybe in a different format too, if we can get some different types of games and tests going on that we're working on behind the scenes. So thanks you all very much. Take care. Bye-bye.